Hey everyone, and welcome back to See You Next Thursday. I'm Willow of Pixie Retreat.
And I'm Tree.
And today we're going to talk about signs that our body gives us when our livers are overloaded with toxins. Because we've been doing these 3-6-9 cleanses in this last year, we just finished the 5th one. We thought that we would keep in line with that and continue talking about stuff around the liver and how to have better liver health. So today we're really going to talk about signs that we get that our liver is overloaded with toxins. And one of the first ones is fatigue and low energy. So if we're feeling that kind of chronic fatigue or low energy levels, or we're just feeling drained, this is a sign that the liver is overwhelmed and unable to process its toxin load. So that's what I'm saying. So that sign of fatigue or low energy is also a sign that your liver is overloaded with toxins.
And that can be a sign for so many things. And
it really can.
Oftentimes the liver is
not
the
even
core of it.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's not even considered in the equation, but because it's the major workhorse in the body, almost anything that's wrong with us, we can take it back to what's going on with our livers.
And another one is digestive issues. Symptoms such as bloating, indigestion, constipation, acid reflux, and a feeling of fullness after eating can be linked to an overworked liver. This is something that I deal with pretty frequently. And the liver plays a crucial role in digestion, and when it's overburdened, these functions can be compromised. So it's something to pay attention to, and I certainly do. And rather than feeling concerned about it, I just get proactive.
Yeah, she just gets proactive. Because, you know, we can go down rabbit holes of getting really, really worried about, you know, something that's wrong with us, and then we make it worse because we take our stress levels up. So if we can find a way to realize, hey, I've got the 411, that something's going on, I'm going to be proactive about it.
The 411, hon.
The 411, hon. That's right. So another sign is skin problems. Conditions like acne, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, hives, rashes, and other skin kinds of issues. Our skin is our largest organ, and it's also an organ of detoxification. And when the liver is struggling, the body may use the skin to expel toxins, and this can lead to these kinds of skin issues. So I always say, when we can see something on the surface, when we can see something literally on our skin, it's a sign to take notice.
It's interesting because I suffered from, I don't know if it was eczema.
It was eczema, definitely.
Really hardcore on my right hand in particular. It started on my pinky and it slowly extended finger to finger. And this was happening when we were running our business. And I was attributing it to our cleaning in the kitchen. Having
your hands constantly in water.
And washing dishes and stuff like that. And that could have been a part of it, and also, obviously, liver stuff too. And this is just to say that someone who eats really clean still can have issues with your liver because most of us have a toxic liver. And another thing that I deal with is brain fog.
Yeah.
And poor concentration, although
And this is another sign.
I don't have poor concentration, but I do have brain fog. And so that includes difficulty concentrating, memory problems, brain fog, and confusion can arise when toxins are not being properly filtered out by the liver. Toxins that reach the brain through the bloodstream can affect and impact cognitive function. So I know as you get older, there can be a lot of concern. What does that mean? You know, am I experiencing dementia? Am I having, what are these about? But, you know, if we can understand ways to deal with these issues that we're dealing with, then we can be better equipped to take charge and improve our overall well-being.
So another sign is weight gain and difficulty losing weight. So this is a sign of an overloaded liver that may be having trouble metabolizing fat properly, leading to weight gain, especially around the abdominal area. And then difficulty losing weight despite diet and exercise, can also be a sign of a sluggish liver. So, our bodies do a lot to protect themselves, and accumulating fat to keep toxins actually away from the organs. We can just start putting on more weight, more fat through the center part of our body, and that really can definitely be a sign of a sluggish liver.
Well, there's a lot of conversation about our bodies attacking itself. I have lipstick on my teeth.
You got it.
Our body's attacking itself, and I personally don't buy into this theory. I think our bodies are always supporting ourselves.
I agree.
And our bodies are magnificent machines in a way. They're just like
that are here to work for us and with us, not against us. And so, when this kind of stuff is happening, it may just mean that we need to do some sort of a liver detox to get all of those toxins out of the body, or to get toxins out of the body that will definitely reduce that weight in the center of the body.
When I hear your body's attacking itself, not that that's been said to me particularly.
Well, we've heard it so much.
But when
from so
I hear
many
it,
people.
I always kind of take 10 steps back, because I just can't get with that. I don't believe that to be true. So another thing that happens is hormonal imbalances. The liver helps to break down and regulate hormones in the body. And when it's overloaded with toxins, hormonal imbalances can occur, leading to symptoms such as PMS, mood swings, irregular menstrual cycles, hot flashes, and other endocrine-related issues. And I think especially as we get older, especially as women, we don't probably consider the liver being the thing where like, it's menopause or it's this and it's that. And
it all comes back to the liver, though. All of it does. It all comes back to liver, because like I said earlier, this is the workhorse. This is where every toxin that comes into our body is filtered through. So if we aren't allowing for our bodies to do its natural liver cleanse that it does every single night, if we are, starting to take in fats before noon, we halt that cleanse, that natural cleanse that the liver does every single day. Every single night, the liver starts to take out the trash. It starts to pull the toxins from that day. And if we allow ourselves, till 11 or 12 in the later part of the morning, early afternoon, before we take any fat, we allow our bodies to do that natural cleanse. But the minute we take in any fat, we are halting that natural cleanse that our body wants to do for us every single day.
And overall, looking at the troublemaker foods that we take in as humans,
and we all do,
really cutting them back. We've talked about the troublemaker foods.
You don't have to take them all out,
no,
but take a few out.
Well,
just take a few out and see what happens.
Add in the hydrating foods and allow for the troublemaking foods to fall off. That's what happens naturally. That way you don't feel like you're on a diet. You don't feel like you're subjecting yourself to some kind of self-imposed torture. You just do it naturally, and that includes adding and then subtracting versus subtracting.
And subtracting and subtracting and subtracting,
which
just
harder.
Feels like, what do I get to eat? What kind of a life am I living? We all want to live a fun, healthy life.
What is my point of living?
So another one is bad breath and a coated tongue. So a common symptom of liver toxicity, is bad breath. And this can happen due to toxin buildup. Additionally, a coated or a white tongue also can indicate that the liver is not eliminating waste effectively. So things to pay attention to.
And headaches and migraines. This has been a question posed to us. So toxins accumulating in the body due to an overwhelmed liver can trigger headaches and migraines. These can be particularly severe and frequent if the liver is not detoxifying effectively. And especially when you're cleansing, some of this stuff might come up, headaches, bloating, all that stuff, and you want to blame it on the cleanse. And the truth is all of this was already in effect.
Yeah, it's just the cleanse is just kicking it
and then the cleanse, it might reemerge because these toxins and poisons are eliminating from your body, and you want to blame it on the cleanse, or I want to blame it on the cleanse, or
Well,
like, why
like-
am I feeling this way? Because we both feel these same ways when we're cleansing.
Yeah,
even
we do.
though
Like we'll
we
be
practice
bloated.
this-
It's like here we are doing this. Like okay, so we finished our cleanse on what day? Sunday? On Monday?
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday.
Tuesday is when like the last day of coming off the cleanse, and you can see clearly I've got a little rash right here. There's some kind of a little rash going on.
And it was already in the works.
And it was already, I'm not blaming the cleanse. I just know that I've
You
kicked.
had that going into
Yes,
it as
I
well.
did. Yes, I did. I did have that going into it, and I still have a little residual of it right here. And then I've been waking up the last 3 mornings with really puffy, swollen eyes, which takes me to the next one, which is dark circles under the eyes. Persistent dark circles or puffiness under the eyes can also be a sign that the liver is struggling to process toxins, which leads to a buildup that affects the delicate skin around our eyes. So,
And it is delicate.
and it is very, that's like the skin under our eyes is really, really delicate.
Well, I was always saying when you're putting on oils or
whatever,
makeup, go
Go up,
not
don't
down.
down. Like when you're putting your stuff on, you're putting your stuff, like don't ever skip your
Lifting.
neck either. Just everything is you're taking it up, 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 never taking things down, down, down. We want things to be lifted, not sagging. Right? I mean, that's
So-
just me.
I think that's everyone.
I think that's everyone too.
Mood swings and emotional imbalance. This can be normal for most people on an average day. And the buildup of toxins can affect neurotransmitter levels and lead to mood swings, irritability, anxiety, and even depression. A toxic liver can impact mental and emotional health significantly. So, thinking about that, like your liver holds your anger.
Exactly. I was just going to say
And
that.
so if you're feeling angry when you're detoxing, it's a
kind of
normal
normal.
thing.
It is. It's normal to be a little snappy, to be a
Or
little
not even
short.
when you're detoxing, when you're overloaded.
Yeah. Really, it's like, it's one of the signs. It's one of those signs.
Because if you're bloated, you're having headaches, and you're
Some
having
brain
all
fog.
of these issues, and like naturally, it's normal to feel unsettled and feel
maybe angry.
angry, annoyed, if that's a better feeling. than
Irritable.
angry. And so try to be easy on yourself and to realize that, like, okay, maybe it's not just me, and I don't have some mental disorder. I'm having some liver buildup that needs to be dealt with, and I know how to deal with it. I can have hydrating foods. I can add in things that can improve my well-being, and at the same time and provide nourishment.
I really feel like, and I keep saying this, and I say it over and over and over again. I use my hands to gesticulate to make the point, but really, if all of us just did the morning cleanse every single day, we would be doing, or even we just did it like 2 weeks out of every month, we would be doing so much I personally am doing so much for myself by doing that, because that first part of the day is just about hydration
But let's
when
just
you're
say-
doing the morning cleanse.
Well, no radical fats, but for us, what does the morning cleanse mean? It means waking up we have 32 ounces of...
But just getting up and having 16 ounces of lemon water. We
Yes.
do 32 because we've been doing it
and
for a
then
while.
either 16 to 32 ounces of celery juice as you're up in your game, and then giving, up to 30 minutes in between. And then after that, another 30 minutes or so, 15 to 30. And then having the heavy metal detox smoothie or the liver rescue, which are both delicious and very different.
Well, the morning cleanse, though, is really about the heavy metal detox smoothie. And that one really is about pulling heavy metals out of your system, which are some of the most hardcore toxins that your liver holds. And it tends to hold them in the center, in the core, which it's like we need to, that core part of the liver is where the really old toxins are held that we've been carrying around maybe since we were kids or teenagers or young adults. And you hit certain ages. Well, like I've said, I'm going to be 59 coming up here in like 3 weeks, something like that. And you hit an age like I'm at, and it's just natural that you would start to feel the effects of the buildup of toxin just simply based on time and accumulation.
But when you're doing that, you can feel, or I can, or at least I like to imagine that I can. And I think that I really can.
You can feel what?
I can feel, it's like plaque. It's slowly extracting from whatever these toxins are holding on to, and it's separating from the walls or of the cells or whatever it is that it's coagulating onto. and then it's starting to extract, and then the heavy metal detox smoothie is extracting it, and then it's allowing it to pull
It's
from
like
the walls,
corralling
and
it basically, and then
releasing.
and then escorting those shitty toxins right on out
and the
of our
hydrating
system.
foods are helping to like usher it on out. So it's really powerful stuff.
So cool. Honestly,
Yeah.
I could geek out about this for like the next 3 hours, but I won't do that to you. Instead, I'll go on to the next one, which is joint and muscle pain. So when the liver is burdened with toxins, inflammatory responses can be triggered in the body, leading to joint pain, muscle stiffness, and overall body aches. So, it's like maybe when your feet are a little bit restless, or you're having cramping in your calves, or whatever.
Inflammation.
And inflammation,
Swelling.
where you can see that. It's like, maybe your ankles are swollen or your feet are swollen. These are definitely signs. Like our lower extremities, everything kind of drops down, and that's where you'll start to really feel some of this stuff.
And frequent colds, infections, and allergies. So often people think that it's just, oh, it's flu season, it's natural, I have COVID or whatever it is. But, I mean, knock on wood, but like, when's the last time? Like, we're rarely sick. I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm saying it
because we're in that
it's true.
season.
And when we are, it's like, okay, then we're having some kind of healing crisis. But an overburdened liver can weaken the immune system, making it more difficult for the body to fight off infections. This may result in frequent colds, respiratory issues, allergies, or sinus infections. And if you're very susceptible to these things, then you may want to look into just like adding in these beautiful recipes to improve your overall and to like ward off being contagious, right, to other people.
Yeah.
Taking on their viruses by because when we're out and about, it's like someone's out and they sneeze and their droplets get on you.
Droplets? Ew, there's sneeze droplets?
You don't want that.
Keep your sneeze droplets to yourself, please.
You can ward it off by just really feeding your system with super healthy foods, and at the same time you're starving pathogens and viruses that are, what they're doing is just like if you feed your body foods that are feeding the viruses and pathogens,
like eggs, like dairy,
like pork,
like corn, like soy,
so many things, the standard American diet,
basically,
then you're more susceptible to these kinds of things. And if you're feeding your beautiful system food that is starving, I know it sounds contrary, that it's starving these viruses and toxins.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Starving the pathogens and the viruses and the bacteria. Mm-hmm.
So you're feeding yourself, but you're starving these things that are in your system.
Food, like the pathogens love dairy, they love gluten. These are foods that feed pathogens and viruses. So when you take those out and then you start really, really chowing down on the rainbow of food, so really great leafy greens, plants, vegetables, fruits, herbs. When you're taking in those things, you're really seriously hydrating the body, and those foods starve out the pathogens and the viruses.
Think about it. We haven't had I haven't had pork in 30 years or whatever.
For me, 20.
But I was
20
never
years.
a big fan. But the truth is even to this day, it smells good.
It does smell good.
And
I have to admit it.
you go out and we were just downtown and everything smells delicious. Do I want to eat that? No, I don't. But then that's just the taking it in. And so I know the temptation is
great.
It is great.
It's great. And especially this time of the year when there's just so much good tasting, yummy, fattening, hearty things. It's hard in this time of the year, especially when it's cold out. We want those comfort foods. And you can have some of those comfort foods. It's just, again,
new ways to
adding in. Yeah, there's new, literally the lentil loaf and the mushroom gravy. I just, in the last rounds that we've done of it, I pulled the fat out of the gravy and you couldn't even tell. Literally, in the fat in the gravy, you use it when you're sauteing the shallots or the mushrooms, and the shallots or onion and mushroom in the very beginning. So that's where the fat is in the gravy. But I just sauteed everything in water. And then
No, you did. You sauteed it in the liver rescue broth.
oh, right. That's right. I sauteed it in the liver rescue broth. That's exactly right. And so it had all these yummy flavors within the broth that the shallots and the mushrooms took on, but there was no fat. So that entire dinner of the lentil loaf and the mushroom gravy, I mean, it feels like you're eating something hearty and fattening and just zero fat
Well, I
in
think
that
the
meal.
point is that you can find satisfaction without all the troublemaker action.
You really can.
And even with vegan foods, it's not perfect
No,
at
and-
all. There's like vegan is very fatty. It's like high soy content. You don't have to go that route. It's really about eating a plethora of leafy greens, vegetables, fruits, and organic
Herbs.
and you know, specific flours and stuff like that, oat, arrowroot,
Millet.
chickpea, millet, things like that that aren't gonna, you know, trigger inflammation.
Yeah.
So sleep disturbances, another thing I experience at times, not all the time. And when I don't, I'm so happy. And usually when I don't,
Well-
I'm very much on this cleansing aspect, and it's like the biggest gift I can ever receive. So if you have insomnia or sleep issues,
You have any difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, as well as waking up between the hours of 1 and 3 a.m., which, just to let you know, is traditionally considered liver time in traditional Chinese medicine. This can definitely indicate that your liver is overactive and overloaded. So if you find yourself, you were having that happen for a little while, waking up between 1 and 3 in the morning.
horrible.
It's like that's when the liver is taking out the trash. That's when it's extracting toxins and getting them ready to be escorted out between the hours of like 6 a.m. and 11 or 12.
So if you have these disturbances, or if it's something you deal with, eating really hydrating, beautiful foods that are not troublemaker foods, and like taking the fat out will really truly improve your sleep.
Your sleep will be sweet.
Your sweet sleep quality.
Exactly.
Guaranteed. And so sensitivity to chemicals and smells, when the liver is struggling to detoxify, sensitivity to environmental toxins like perfumes, smoke,
Cleaning products.
and they can increase, leading to symptoms such as headaches, nausea, dizziness. All of this stuff, you know, we don't think about that when we're not feeling good. We don't think about how we
What
just
we
went to
washed
the
our
store.
clothes in, you know.
We just went to the store and the person's perfume was so strong and we breathed it in. Like, how, could that affect us?
Yes, it
You
can.
know, it does. And like even scented candles. I mean, we went through a phase of
Oh my
burning
God.
candles
And tons of incense.
during meditation for years and years, and then we realized,
Oh my God.
this is not good.
This is not good. So if we do burn candles anymore, they tend to be clean burning. So they're usually soy candles
With
and
essential
with
oils.
essential oils as opposed to fragrance. And when you see fragrance on a label, just know that there is upwards of 24 toxins, 24 different kinds of toxins potentially in that fragrance labeling. So it's kind of a big deal, you know, considering those things. I mean, I used to a long time ago. I worked the fragrance counter at Nordstrom's, and I have to tell you, I would leave every day and have to walk really fast down the street to either catch my bus or get into the car because I was so overloaded with all that toxic smell. It's so, and just so you also know that American fragrances they're all, every last one of them, they're literally all toxin. They're all completely alcohol based and they suck. If you're going to wear fragrance, buy European ones. They tend to use essential oils.
Yeah, if you're in line somewhere and you're like, oh, that smells good. Back it up, back it up. You know, you don't want to get too close.
No judgment. It's just these choices, these things that we can do to help this situation. If we're, you know, we find ourselves with some sort of dis-ease going on in our life, that we may just need to look around what we're using to clean our homes with, what we're using to wash our hair with, what we're using to wash our bodies with,
Our clothes.
what we're using to wash our clothes.
And you get home at the end of the day and you're like, why am I having a headache?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe you were just at the grocery store
And just
you
like, we're overloaded.
You got like smell bombed by like somebody's smells or whatever it was. And so, you know, just being conscious of the fact that it's not your fault, you know, like as much as you want to avoid these toxic things that are coming to, like, how would we know? How do we know? I mean, we didn't know.
No.
We're just learning. We continue to learn that, you know, we do our part and we do it the best that we can. At the same time, when you're out and about and you're taking in smells and all this stuff that smells good in the moment, but like it permeates our cells, and then somehow we end up later having brain fog, tired, needing to lay down and not feeling well.
Yeah.
And or maybe we just went out to a restaurant and they didn't like reveal all of the oils or whatever it was, the salts they're using, and so it's just like such a myriad of combination of things.
It really is,
and it's almost impossible to feel like you can get ahead, but you can.
I mean, it's just being proactive and considering these things. I mean, who can deal with all these things at once? You can't. For us, it's been it's like been an onion, layers peeling back, peeling back, peeling back. And so these symptoms that we just talked about are basically, they're signals that the body, they're signals
support
from our body that the liver may need to be doing some detoxing.
And it needs support.
Yeah.
And there is support. Like, we're a support group.
Totally. And you know, it's
By
like
proxy.
There's so many great detox protocols, and there's so many great specific healing foods like celery juice and herbs and fruits and vegetables that can help us to detoxify. We don't have to take drugs to do this kind of stuff. We can do this kind of stuff on our own, and we can do it really basically. You don't have to do a full-blown liver cleanse. You could just simply, for 21 days, do the morning cleanse. So you just spend the first part of your day considering your liver and considering your health.
Or you could like switch up your laundry detergent.
Totally.
You could switch
I
up.
highly suggest Zum.
Stop
it's
using
so good.
Perfumes.
And maybe move to essential oils,
Essential oils.
you know, or fragrances that are like, I know right now RMS it's my favorite cosmetic clean beauty company, and I know they just came out with a fragrance, and so I know it's going to be really great because this is a really fantastic clean beauty line called RMS. Give it a try. It's so good.
Based out of Charleston.
Yeah, based out of Charleston.
Yeah, so just a lot of little things you can do. Like if you're high into makeup, then look out Clean Beauty. Like there's just a lot of, you know, step by step.
Yeah.
Not all at once. It's overwhelming.
One thing at a time. Take it easy. Be nice to yourself. And if any of these things are showing up in your body right now, any of these symptoms that we just put out there, don't trip. Just get proactive.
Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Get you some.
So on that note, if you liked this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate all of our subscribers, all of our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to us and giving us your time. We really appreciate it.
Tuning into yourselves.
Yeah.
Because you're searching.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing.
It's so cool.
So keep going. You got this. And, you know,
And
it's
we
not
love
about
you.
the end game. It's about the journey.
Right. We're not here to sprint. We're doing the long game. We're not doing the short game.
And we're not preaching, we're sharing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
get you some.
do what you need to do for you. These are just some little tidbits that can help you if you are so inclined. On that note, thanks, and we will see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday.
Peace out.